So the lectures, as I already mentioned, will have three parts. We will be revising the topics. So the people who are signed up for the clearing the patent agent examination will get benefit. And we also have, this is a webinar not only for clearing the patent agent examination. We have some of our old students who have signed up, because as I said, the webinar is not only for the clearing the exam, but also to do the things which you will be doing after you clear the exam. So the other two parts, the advanced patent drafting and the patent prosecution in practice, are things which will benefit not only the people who are preparing for the exam, but also those people who have cleared the exam and who have already joined this webinar. So and the revision also. Revision always helps. I mean, I still find that, when I read a provision, despite having practiced in this area for the last 15 years, I still find new meaning when I read these provisions. So, and your questions definitely help me to understand and update my knowledge. So we'll have lectures, and at the end of the lectures, we'll have some polls and surveys in between. We'll keep running the polls and surveys. And finally, we will have the Q&A section. Now, the revision lecture, the advanced patent drafting and patent prosecution in practice, these three things will be tied in a way in which one is related to the other. So I just want to tell you that it won't be an arbitrary lecture on revision which is not connected to patent drafting and that is not connected to patent prosecution. Because if you see, all these three things are connected together. I just want to show you a small glimpse, and we will in the next webinar, probably when everybody joins. I mean, we've been able to admit only 100 people this time. We will be able to admit more people. Yeah? And once we do that, in the next webinar onwards, we will have our detailed lectures. Now, I'll just give you an instance of how we pick up topics. This is something which people asked us. What are the topics for the webinar? And in an earlier webinar, we said that we will first start covering sections 1 to 5. But I think that will be that won't be the best way to conduct a webinar, because if we describe a topic, then only those people who are interested in that topic will turn up. 1, 2, then it becomes in the lectures become predictable. Okay, and we will not be able to do this combining different parts of the syllabus and making relationships with it and to enhance your knowledge on the subject. We may not be able to do that. Okay, now let me just show you a glimpse of how we do the revision and how we do the patent drafting and the patent prosecution. Now, if you look at, this is a question that came in our forum. Can anyone explain this? There is a statement which I make at the start of the lecture. The main requirements of a patent of addition is a prior application with a prior application with a related invention. So what is meant here is that there is a prior application and there is a related application pertaining to the invention, because patents of additions are filed for modifications and improvements. So as I said earlier, a patent of addition is similar to a divisional application in the sense that you are talking about two related applications. So this is just, it gives us an opportunity, when you raise the questions, it gives us an opportunity to look at what kind of intervention we should be doing in the webinars. So in the webinars, we found that, okay, this is a point where people could have a doubt, and we can pick that up and we can discuss it. Now, when we discuss this, we would want to also show you. Now, if you come to the Patent Office website, I'll quickly take you through some slides. Some of you may be knowing this, but I just want to reiterate this. Now, in the Patent Office website, you can go to this page where you can, this is called the Dynamic First Examination Report page. You can look at the FERs issued. Now, I've chosen December 2019, and it gives us quite a lot of and this is where you will find there is an old format and new format. Old format is irrelevant. We went past it a few years ago. But you need to understand that these are the things you should never be exposed to while preparing for an examination, because you are not expected to answer anything on this part, on these things. You are not even you do not know what is a new format and an old format, and the format is nothing, but this is where we apply the knowledge that we learn so that you are future ready, not just examination ready, you are future ready. Now I click on Chennai. And we look at mechanical. So we have mechanical inventions, and there are 639 applications. So when you click on this, it takes you to a page like this. There is a CAPTCHA. You'll have to enter the CAPTCHA and then do that. Now here there are a host of applications. I can choose an application. Say I choose the application of Honda. Okay. Now if I open Honda's application, this is Honda Motor Company, and this is the report. There is a novelty. They say yes, there is novelty. Inventive step 1 to 9, no. It is against no. So there is no inventive step here. There is industrial applicability. So all the things that we learn are actually here. Okay, and this is the application of the knowledge. And are there any objections based on section 3? No objections. It's a clear. And there is sufficiency of disclosure. Yes. Pending application. No. Now here, when it comes to 10.5 and 10.4, and these are the internal requirements of a patent specification, on clarity, it says there is no clarity. So claims 1 to 9, you can see there is no clarity. Okay. Definitive, yes, they are definitive. Supported, yes, supported. Scope, everything is there. Now, if we get into this, these are some of the prior art objections they have said. Okay, prior art objections for inventive step. You can read it. What are the objections that the patent office has raised? Now, one of the objections they raise in the sufficiency of disclosure, which is section 10, which I just showed you about, they say that the abstract shall be duly prepared and submitted in accordance to Rule 13.7. Now, we know that there is 5 elements. If you watch our lectures, there are 5 elements that the abstract should satisfy. And it should be a concise summary in 150 words. We know that abstracts have a word limit. The title is 15 words, not more than 50 words. Abstract is 10 times that, which is 150 words. Now, they make it very clear that abstract should not be a repetition of claim 1. Okay. Now, we find it only in practice, you will get exposed to this. So the abstract should not be a repetition of claim 1. Now, Honda also has another application. Let me just show you another application just for you to understand what other kinds of questions that can come. Hold on. Okay, this is, I hope you are able to see this. Now, there is Honda's motor application here, dated 30th December 2019. I click on view and it opens up another application of Honda. Okay, and here you will find that there is no novelty. Okay, you need to understand this. Novelty is no. You can see that here. No inventive step. Very rarely you will find applications where there is an objection on novelty and inventive step. I'll explain this. This is an improvement of an existing invention. That's why whenever you file an application for an improvement, small modification of an earlier invention, then the prior art is too much in that domain that you get objections like this. Okay. Sufficiency of disclosure, yes. Co-pending, no. Now here in section 10, 5 objections, clarity and conciseness, they say yes. But this time in definitive, they say no. Okay, we'll see why there is the claims are not definitive. Okay, we will see when we see the document, we'll understand that in greater detail. Okay, they cite novelty. There is a D5 document, D1 to D3 inventive step. These are all arguments that the patent office has raised. Now, there is a section 3 objection saying that it is a software, 3K. Okay, this is how a 3K objection is raised. Claims are directed to a mere computing program. Now, while replying to this, the agent has to say why it is not, there is technical effect, and there are various arguments you can raise to get over this objection. Okay, now, unity of invention, there's no issue there. Abstract, again, they say that, abstract has to be in accordance with Rule 13.7. So Rule 13.7, you will find there are 5 elements that an abstract has to satisfy. Now, indefinitiveness, you will find here that they say that the scope is not clear, and they say that coming down here, claim 1 should be reworded in such a way that it clearly distinguishes the inventive features. I'll repeat that again. Claim 1 should be reworded in such a way that it clearly distinguishes the inventive features over the prior art by using the word characterized in that. Now this is important because now when you use this phrase characterized in that, whatever you had mentioned before in the preamble is the part that precedes these phrases. You are saying that that is prior art and my invention is not there. Rather, my invention is in what follows this statement, characterized in that element 1, 2, 3. That is so. This is one way to claim an improvement or a modification of an existing invention. So the objection very clearly states that you have to now use these words to define and to demarcate your invention from the prior art. Now, how do we understand this? Because the characterized in that is not mentioned in the act, it is not in the rules, maybe a passing reference in the manual, but where do we understand what is the law with regard to characterized in that? So that brings us to another very exciting part of our lectures, which is this. Let me just share this and you will see. Okay. Okay, I hope you are able to see this. Okay, now this is the book Faber on the Mechanics of Patent Drafting, and we have commentary on characterized in that. Now this may be slightly advanced for some of you. Some of you will say that is it necessary for us to understand all these things, but understand that once you clear the patent agent examination, this is going to be your daily life. The patent office is going to raise these things and you need to be competent. I'm not taking you into the details of this, you know, we can come to it later, but just for you to understand that there is whole lot of, and this is only one book. Faber on the Mechanics of Patent Drafting is only one of the classic books. There are other books which deals with this. Now this brings us to a new type of claim which you may not have heard before, called Jepson claims. Jepson claims are claims, it's an European invention, or the jurisprudence came from Europe. Jepson claims are a way in which you can claim an improvement. An improvement is something which one of the students had asked. Everything started off with a question on patent of addition. In India, we claim patent of addition through improvement. Improvements are claimed through patent of addition. And in Europe and in US, improvement can be claimed as a Jepson claim, and the Jepson claim has some issues. In US it is not very much encouraged, and in India also we find that sometimes the patent office may raise an objection saying that don't use characterized in that, used whereby or wherein. We've seen those things. So you need to, just to tell you that this knowledge is there in the classic textbooks of patent law. So you will have to get into that even to understand or even to effectively answer the questions that the patent office is going to raise. Now, don't worry, this webinar is designed for that. So we will have weekly webinars till the examination is done, and we will also continue to have the webinars beyond the examination. That's the entire point here, to not just to train you for the exam, but to train you for life.